There's a tough side to success that most people can't handle. But if you face it, you'll grow faster than you've ever imagined. In this video, I want to tell you 3 hard truths about success that no one is talking about. Hi there, welcome once again to this mind-shifting and mind-renewing podcast called Mindscale with Olushola, of course myself, and it's a pleasure to actually have you once again this week joining us. And before we get into the whole juice, I'd like to kindly remind you to click on the subscribe button or follow, and also turn on post notifications so you'll be the very first person to know when next we drop something great. Welcome to the world of gems. Shall we begin? The very first thing I would like to say before I get into the 3 hard truths is that when it comes to the subject of success, is actually more about what you endure in private than what people can see in public. This is very important. A whole lot of people are very fascinated about the results of success, and they seem to get so excited about people's stories when they see how successful someone is, but very few people are actually fascinated about the process, about the journey, and not necessarily the destination. And honestly speaking, it's easy for you to get carried away thinking it's all a bed of roses. But here are 3 sides that no one is talking about. Shall we unpack it? Brutal truth number 1 is that talent without consistency is irrelevant. Now, there's a reason I say this, because a whole lot of people think that because they are naturally positioned or perhaps talented in a particular area, they feel it will be pretty much easier for them because they have some form of a vantage point. But I'd look you in the eye and tell you today that that's not how it works. Life doesn't give you all that you think you deserve. Life gives you what you negotiate, and you negotiate it by showing up every single day and fighting against the odds. I'm going to tell you something. Think of it this way. The seats at the table are very limited, and only people who can truly fight for a space will get it. I tell you this because there are many talented people who lose to disciplined, averaged ones. Now, this is important. Mike Tyson once said, discipline is doing what you hate, but doing it like you love it. In fact, sometimes discipline could actually be doing what you love, but it will mean doing what you love even on days when you don't feel like it. I said all of that to say discipline is not doing what is convenient, it is doing what is demanded. If there's one thing I need you to know, it is that it is discipline that gets you over the line. Discipline is what makes you choose purpose over pleasure every single day. And talent is never enough. I say this because there are so many talented people who are colossal failures all around the world. And so my question to you is, how disciplined are you? And how much do you want this future that you truly desire? It was Rory Vaden who said success is never owned, it is rented. And every day that rent is due, which means your height and your exertions of the previous day will never suffice for this current day. Success means you have to keep on showing up. Someone once said success is like a lion. You have to keep coming up. You have to keep showing up. You have to keep proving it. You have to keep doing it. It is a consistency that sets you apart. It's a hard truth, because it will be hard if it will be easy for me to tell you 2 + 2 will always be 4. But life is not always that easy, and the journey and the road will be bumpy at times. It will never always go the way that you might have envisaged. So how consistent will you be? Well, the degree to which you'll be consistent will determine the degree to which success and fortune will smile at you. All right, and this leads me to brutal truth number 2. It is that you will outgrow some people that you love. Whew! This hurts, to be honest, particularly if you're someone like me who is so people obsessed, people loving, like to keep people, like to keep my clan, and so many things. Now note, I never said you will stop loving them, but I just meant you would outgrow some people that you genuinely love. Now, this is emotionally taxing, but it is actually necessary. Let me explain. You see, many times growth demands new conversations, it demands new energy, and it also demands fresh alignment. And I need to tell you this: for every new level you get to and every new height you attain or achieve, you will not necessarily have to do away with your old friends, but it might mean that the frequency of your communication with some people might have to reduce, because you have to open up yourself to new possibilities in new relationships that are sure to expand your mind, your thinking, and open you up to new realms on your journey to success. This is very important. You see, it's just something about growth. And the more you stretch your mind, the more and the better you keep doing. So it means that on your journey, you're going to meet new people. And it will mean that there'll be new conversations, new friendships. I'm not saying you're going to do away with the old ones, but it might mean that the quality of the conversations might drop. Some of them will naturally not be on the same wavelength with you. There's a popular saying that 20 friends don't play together for 20 years. I tell you this for sure. It is true. Several years ago, 14, 15 years ago, when I was first told that at my undergraduate years in year one, I thought, what do you even mean? I'll still be yagging and jumping and chilling with my same friends all through and blah, 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 blah. But look, life soon taught me that even though they will remain your friends and acquaintances and you love them, but conversations might change. And growth many times demands new conversations, new energy, and fresh alignment. And guess what? It doesn't make you a bad person. They're just doing what is necessary for growth. And guess what? It also doesn't make them failures. Also doesn't make them bad people. But they also will advance into different communications, into different conversations, into different spaces with new friends. And that is fine. Don't beat yourself too much. Always remember that there will be things that will bring you guys together. You never can tell. Sometimes you're so close to someone. In 5-10 years, you guys might not be that close. And before you know it, time turns hands back. And you guys become close again. Because actually, what fuels relationships is beyond just where you both came from and what you have in common. But it's also where you're headed. It's beyond your background, but actually what the future holds for you both. And you need to understand and accept the fact that not everybody you love will be going your way. And therefore, it is pertinent that you come down from that vehicle and find another one that suits your journey and your purpose. And this leads me to the third brutal truth, which is that the road to the top is lonely before it is crowded. Now, this is very important. The famous philosopher once said, it's lonely at the top. And to be honest, it's quite true. There's something I've learned, that before you are seen, you are often doubted. Look, there was a statistic by LinkedIn study in 2022, which actually said that about 72% of high achievers feel misunderstood or isolated at some point in their journey. Does that sound like you? Does that sound like the fact that many times, I don't know how to explain this. It just feels as though no one understands your hustle, where you're headed. It feels like they just can't see the big picture that you can see. It just feels as though they're not grinding on the level you're trying to grind at, or they're not just seeing something or an opportunity that only you can see. Let me tell you something. That's okay. Sometimes the path is first and foremost lonely before it is crowded. Before every other person jumps on the bandwagon, you might have to be the only person going on that road and on that journey. I want to tell you something. You might feel like you're alone for now, but so soon, a time from now, many people will catch up to the reality of your journey, and they will actually embrace your success, because truthfully, success has many friends. However, be careful. When people doubted you before you rose to the top, be careful when they come around, because it is convenient for them to do so. And here's what I'm trying to say. Don't be too bitter and don't be too hard on yourself when it feels as though other people are not seeing what you're seeing, or other people are not embracing the opportunities that you are. It is normal. You're not the only person. Remember, the statistics said about 72% of high achievers have recorded a similar case before. I've had people who have doubted me on the journey. I've had people who have said it's not possible. I've had people who have said all manner. Well, here's it. It is possible. And you must understand this first, that the road might be lonely before it is crowded. This is very, very important. And so I did all of this to let you know that there are some truths about success that many people do not like to admit. But look, in this video and in this podcast and in this particular audio you might be listening to right now, I have chosen to discuss them. If this resonates with you in any way whatsoever, do not forget to click on the like button. Do not forget to kindly subscribe or click follow and also turn on post notifications so you'll be the very first person to know when next I drop a mind-shifting and life-transforming video. Thank you so much for your time, and do not forget to share this with a friend that you know will need these words. How about this for some gem? See you in the next video.